I want to take you to breaking news now, because as people in Texas are still reeling from the horrible flooding, a separate incident is unfolding just along the border. The U.S. Customs and Border Patrol announced earlier today.
California, land of golden dreams, towering redwoods, and Hollywood lights, where myth and reality blur under the endless sun. From Big Sur's jagged cliffs to the Mojave's shimmering heat, this place has always been built on secrets. For many, it's the promise of reinvention. But right now, that bright image is cracking, literally. In the past year, scientists have uncovered findings that shake the state's very foundation. And we're not just talking about the San Andreas tremors or Mount Shasta's quiet rumble. This is deeper, a massive shift beneath the mighty Sierra Nevada mountains, and a buried jackpot under the still waters of the Salton Sea. We're talking a white gold mine worth $500 billion, a discovery that could change California's fate and the global energy game. Meanwhile, entire stretches of land are sinking, while the Pacific creeps higher with every tide. Beneath California isn't just gold, it's a brewing geological revolution, an electric promise, and challenges that could reshape the American West. Because here, the ground doesn't just hold dreams, it moves them. And now, deep under the Sierra Nevada, Earth itself is peeling away. Scientists are sounding the alarm. New earthquake data has revealed a pattern that flips our understanding of California's geology on its head. By combining seismic scans, gravity readings, and deep Earth imaging, researchers have found shocking evidence that the Earth's lithosphere, the crust and upper mantle, is literally peeling away beneath the Sierra Nevada. This isn't your usual tectonic grind or subduction zone action. This is delamination. The planet shedding part of its deep crust like a soggy chunk falling off a sponge. Here's how it works. Dense, iron-rich roots of the lower crust become unstable, detach, and sink into the mantle below. Seismic waves moving through this chaos twist and slow, exposing the hidden shifts happening miles beneath our feet. The implications are massive. A thinner, hotter lithosphere means the Sierra Nevada now rides on a far more unstable base. Heat flow is spiking, especially along the eastern edge, where rising mantle material is replacing those sunken roots. This superheating softens rock, potentially fueling stronger, more frequent earthquakes along fault lines like the Eastern California Shear Zone and Walker Lane Belt. Even volcanic rock chemistry is changing, proving the very plumbing of the crust is being rewired beneath California. In recent geological time, California's deep crust has transformed in ways that could rewrite seismic and volcanic forecasts. Delamination might not just raise earthquake risks, it could also be reshaping volcanic behavior in hotspots like the Long Valley caldera and Mono Inyo craters. Some scientists think this peeling happens in cycles, unfolding over millions of years, driven by tectonic compression and crustal thickening. Others blame a one-time chain reaction from ancient plate collisions, especially the subduction of the Rion Plate, which pumped extreme heat and density shifts beneath the Sierra. Globally, few places show such clear signs of delamination in progress. The Sierra Nevada may be one of Earth's most valuable deep crust laboratories, a silent process with potentially explosive consequences. Is this just part of the mountain's slow rebirth, or an early warning of something much bigger brewing below? But California's geological drama doesn't stop on land. Lurking beneath the Pacific lies another mystery, a restless undersea volcano now in the scientific spotlight. In early 2025, submarine drones, seismic buoys, and hydroacoustic sensors picked up strange, low-frequency tremors, surging heat, bursts of gas bubbles, and sudden flurries of activity. What first looked like noise turned into a rhythmic signature, the calling card of magma on the move. No towering cone here. Instead, scientists uncovered a sprawling maze of hydrothermal vents, lava domes, and fissures stretching for kilometers. Superheated fluids, topping 350 degrees Celsius, blast from black smokers and glowing cracks, flooding the frigid ocean with mineral-rich plumes. After connecting the dots, scientists realized this wasn't just another vent field, it was a massive submarine volcano, previously unmapped in its full scale. And it might be closing in on a dangerous phase of pressurization. Sitting on a fracture zone near the East Pacific Rise, just 60 miles off California's coast, its location is no coincidence. It's plugged directly into the same tectonic stress network that influences the San Andreas Fault and Cascadia subduction zone. The risks are serious. An undersea eruption here could unleash localized tsunamis, trigger methane bursts, or destabilize the sea floor, especially if landslides hit. And if superheated magma meets cold, pressurized sediment, you get phreatomagmatic explosions, violent blasts that can rattle the ocean floor and send dangerous waves racing outward. Satellite and sonar scans already show subtle uplifts and cracks in the seafloor, hinting magma is forcing its way upward. Gas readings, helium-3, CO2, and sulfur compounds are spiking, all signs of a restless system below. But there's another side to this volcano, one of alien beauty. Deep-sea cameras have revealed towering chimneys coated with pale tube worms, heat-proof bacteria, and bizarre crustaceans thriving in mineral-rich waters over 350 degrees Celsius. These life forms could be windows into how organisms survive on icy moons like Europa. It's a razor's edge, breathtaking discovery and potential disaster. And scientists are now racing to watch every shift, crack, and gas surge. Sea floor cracks, tremor swarms, coastal emergency teams stay on edge, knowing one deep-sea rupture could flip California's reality in minutes. For now, the volcano stirs and sighs beneath the Pacific, but it's far from asleep. And inland, another underground giant is making headlines, this one worth an eye-watering $540 billion. Welcome to the Salton Sea, a shimmering desert lake born from a man-made flood, scarred by drought and pollution. On the surface, it looks like an environmental cautionary tale. But deep below lies a fortune that could change the global energy game. In 2025, geologists confirmed what whispers had suggested for years: an enormous underground reservoir of lithium, dissolved in scalding brine miles beneath the lakebed. Not just small deposits, an estimated 18 million tons. At today's market value, that's over $500 billion. Why the buzz? Lithium is the lifeblood of rechargeable batteries, from electric cars to smartphones to massive renewable energy grids. Demand has skyrocketed over 500% in the past decade, and supply is struggling to keep up. This find could catapult the U.S. into a leading role in the clean energy race. And here's the twist: unlike lithium mined from rock or evaporated from salty ponds, the Salton Sea's stash is locked in hot geothermal brine, ready to be tapped in a completely different way. This lithium jackpot could be tapped in a cleaner, more efficient way than traditional mining, delivering both minerals and geothermal power before the water is pumped back underground. But there's a catch. The brine is brutally corrosive, loaded with salts and minerals that shred standard machinery. Extracting it safely demands cutting-edge tech and precision engineering. Early pilot projects look promising, but teams are moving cautiously. One mistake could scar the fragile desert ecosystem. If done right, this single find could supply the world's lithium needs for years, fueling a boom in high-tech, low-carbon industries. But as prices soar, the question looms: who will truly profit from California's buried fortune? Adding intrigue, scientists have found rare heat-loving microbes living in the scalding brine. Bacteria so ancient and resilient they might hold biotech or medical breakthroughs worth as much as the lithium itself. Now, research teams are racing to study them before drilling changes the environment forever. But beneath all this opportunity lies another creeping danger: subsidence. Californians fear the big one, but in the meantime, parts of the state are quietly sinking. In the Central Valley and around the Salton Sea, land is dropping inches each year. The culprit? Decades of overpumping groundwater, draining ancient aquifers faster than they can refill. Roads buckle, bridges warp, and irrigation lines snap, while in coastal areas, rising seas close in from the other side. Rising seas are already pushing farther inland, and around the Salton Sea, there's a growing fear that lithium extraction could make the ground sink even faster. Pumping and cycling that superheated brine might trigger sudden sinkholes, deep, gaping depressions capable of swallowing cars, pipelines, even buildings. Engineers are now tracking every tremor and shift to catch instability before it spirals. Meanwhile, California's coasts face their own creeping crisis. In low-lying cities like San Diego and parts of the Bay Area, even small ocean rises are already amplifying floods during high tides and storms. And when sinking land meets rising water, flood risks can explode faster than models predict. Planners are racing to reinforce levees, change zoning rules, and expand monitoring systems. But nature isn't slowing down. Every lost inch of elevation, every extra inch of tide, pushes infrastructure, farms, and homes closer to disaster. Without decisive action, communities once thought safe could be left exposed to forces no wall or pump can easily hold back. And looming over it all, the Salton Sea's lithium fortune. It's one of California's biggest energy opportunities. But as always, massive rewards come with massive risks. Will it spark a clean energy boom, or unleash a new wave of environmental headaches? Pulling lithium from superheated brine is no easy win. The process demands heavy-duty infrastructure that can survive the brine's extreme corrosiveness while sealing off any chance of leaks. If extraction isn't handled with surgical precision, it could worsen land subsidence, disrupt underground ecosystems, or spark other environmental side effects. The vision is a closed-loop system. Draw out lithium and geothermal heat to power local industries, then pump the cooled brine back deep underground. Done right, it could deliver clean energy and battery metals without the massive pollution tied to traditional mining. But in this high-stakes game, there's almost no room for mistakes. Adding to the pressure, the Salton Sea's depths hide rare extremophile microbes, life forms that could hold medical or industrial breakthroughs. Disturbing them without care could wipe out potential discoveries before they're even understood. And the sheer scale of the find has triggered a modern gold rush. Venture capitalists, corporate miners, and policymakers are flooding in, eager to cash in and lock down resources critical for modern tech. Locals dream of an economic revival, but many fear the speed of change and the risks to land, water, and community stability. Water use is another flashpoint. The geothermal process depends on constant circulation, and unchecked extraction could strain local supplies, accelerating sinking ground and threatening the very people who live here. As with so much in California, it's a balancing act, harnessing a resource with world-shaping potential without breaking the land that holds it. The clock is ticking, and the decisions made now will echo far beyond the state's borders. From the shifting crust beneath the Sierra to coastlines under siege from rising tides, California has become the front line of a fast-moving geological saga. Early warning networks now cover the state, seismic sensors planted near the Sierra Nevada and the Salton Sea stream real-time data to labs and emergency hubs. Beneath the Salton Sea, remote-operated subs hunt for heat spikes, gas surges, and signs of brewing instability, while satellites and precision GPS track every subtle shift in the ground. Along the coast and near the Salton Sea, new warning signs mark areas at risk of sudden sinkholes. Even insurance companies are adjusting rates as these once rare disasters grow more common. But despite the tech, there are limits. For every threat we detect, new ones emerge just as fast. Funding is tight, the clean energy race is fierce, and the challenge is clear. California must tap its buried riches while defending its people, infrastructure, and iconic landscapes from forces deep below and far offshore. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the clock is ticking. If you found this story eye-opening, make sure to subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment with your thoughts. What do you think California's future will look like?